Welcome, I'm Colonel Chipman. I'll be giving you your Moonbase orientation. Congratulations, if you're watching this video, you've made it through basic training and our rather intense recruitment process. Only the best have made it this far. The information I'm about to cover is in your technical manual. You should have received this when you joined SHADO. If not, I believe there is something called the Jerry Anderson store where you can get one. But remember, keep that self-destruct on when you're carrying this around because we don't want it to fall into the wrong hands. The actual flight to Moonbase isn't that long. It's usually between 4 and 5 hours. There are a few tips I can give you that are not in the manual, such as under no circumstances take a bet with Colonel Gray when playing chess. You've been warned. Although, it is your money. When traveling to the moon, you'll first go to Halton Air Base, and remember, you're just commercial traffic. So try to look casual and like you belong, and you're not on any kind of a mission. From there, you're going to board a lunar carrier. You can't miss it. It's huge and bright reddish orange. Your module will be perfectly safe docked with a series of magnetic clamps. They'll be released when it's ready to go off on its own. In between flights, both crafts are very carefully looked after, so you can be confident that you're in a fully tested vehicle. Likely there will be 2 astronauts up front, and the passengers can be up to 4, although frankly, it's a lot more comfortable if there are 2. I speak from experience. Most landings on Moonbase itself are via computer control, even though we have fantastic astronauts who are fully capable of doing a manual landing, if given enough heads up.
You must have switched to manual, but I think it's too late.
You know what, forget about that. You'll be fine. Unless the aliens are interfering with the radios. And why would they? It's not like we're the primary defense of Earth. You'll be fine. Although from the outside it looks fairly small, Moonbase has a lot of subterranean areas. So to quote a rather popular television program, it's bigger on the inside. The landing pad is near Module 1. Huge metal structure, so the module can slide right down conveniently. From there, you'll be inside the reception sphere. It's designed to be a casual, relaxing environment that's very welcoming. At least I think so. Throughout Moonbase, they've tried to make it feel a little bit like home, with plants everywhere, beautiful pieces of artwork. In the same general area, you're going to find the garages for the smaller lunar vehicles, such as, of course, our Moonmobile. As you walk in, on your left will be the command and control sphere. On your right will be the 2 sleep spheres. Those are for higher ranked officers and guests, so very likely instead, you'll be taking an immediate left into the dormitories. We call this area Central Park. It's a great place to relax and kind of people watch if you want to. And just to walk you through it again so you don't get lost, a lot of the corridors will look the same. Going clockwise, if you're standing in the reception area door, we have the dormitories, the control sphere, the recreation sphere, the lift, if you need to go up and down, for example, to the gym, then sleep sphere number 1 and sleep sphere number 2. Oh, and most importantly, if after that rather long flight you need to use the washroom, basically walk straight across past the plants. It's on the left side of the lift. Most people tend to hang out in the recreation room when not on duty. There are games, magazines, you can get coffee or tea here. We have a variety of meals: French, Italian, American, English, Russian, and Chinese. No Mexican food yet. I've been trying. Trust me, I miss tacos. A lot of your time will likely be spent in the control room. When you walk in, you're going to see a very large 3-dimensional map of the moon kind of mounted on the wall. And that's a great way to orient yourself. That will be the main tracker station. Underneath on the left are the code books and small arms. I hope you'll never need to use them, but just in case. If there's any kind of an alert going on, you'll also see the status right there on the monitor. Across the room is the secondary tracker station, and then in the middle is generally the Moonbase commander or whoever is officer of the deck. Depending on what operations are going on at the time, you might see various desks and tables, additional equipment and personnel. If you have questions though, don't bother the Moonbase commander. If you need to know something, I would recommend asking Lieutenant Harrington. She always knows everything. But do not ask her to get you coffee. Unless you want to be the recipient of an epic eye roll. Oh, and keep in mind, if you're on Moonbase, no matter who you are, if one of the colonels or Commander Straker asks you for some coffee, just get it for them. I know it's not your job. It's fine. Although if I say, can you get me some coffee, please report it, because I'm being controlled by aliens. I do not drink it. I am a tea person. Now, on to the dorms. This is a bit of an unusual situation. It will take a little bit of getting used to. Pretend you're in university again. There are walls on either side, but there's not going to be a front wall that you can close. So when you need to change clothes or do something you need to do in privacy, there is a room with a one-way mirror that you can go use. It's still very disconcerting though, I will admit. Like, you're changing and there's someone right here talking to you and you're just like, can you not? I am not wearing anything right now, and I know you can't see, but I can see that you're there. I don't know about that design. But the extroverts love it, so you will be sleeping on an air mattress. It's just like camping. Again, you'll get used to it. What's really fun about the dorms, at least in my opinion, is that you will be assigned a color, so everyone knows which room is whose, and you won't stumble into the wrong room by accident, or if you're trying to find someone. For example, if you've been assigned blue, your room will look blue. If you're assigned green, everyone's going to look for the green room. Red, and so forth. If you liked the green though, sorry, already taken, Mark has it. We also have a small sick bay and medical staff, of course, but if something serious happens, you really want to be sent back to Earth. We're just not equipped for that. Interceptor pilots will spend a lot of time in the recreation room because there are shafts for direct access to the interceptors from there. You'll be coming down the chute onto the standby platform, which is right there. If you're part of the ground crew, it will be your job to basically make sure the interceptors are ready to go, get that ladder away once the astronaut is on board, and then clear out fast so they can depressurize. This entire process takes about 2 minutes. If you're not quite there on your first go, no problem. We run tons of drills. We'll get you there. If you're worried about defenses, other than, of course, the interceptors, we have a whole system of missile launchers, the MDVs that can be mobile and move around to launch them. There are cannon. You'll be fine. Most of the time. If you end up on one of the MDV crews, you'll have a 12-hour shift. I will admit it's a pretty boring assignment post to have, except when it's not. And suddenly you become the most important thing on the moon. I'm not going to get into all the vehicles right now, because that will be a separate orientation briefing. But I hope now, when you arrive on Moonbase, it won't be overwhelming and you'll be able to find your way. If nothing else, at least you know where the washrooms are now. Best of luck to all of you. Welcome to SHADO.